Andre 3000. This guy looked just like somebody I knew. Oh, I'm daydreaming. My sister sent me something. I'm going to go here and check to see I'm live. Here we go. I want to say something about this. What's this? This is not today. Oh, yes, it is. Thumbs up. Give myself a thumbs up. Always go in my chat room. I was communicating with my sister there. She went to a birthday party of a 90-year-old woman. My father was 96. He could have lived a lot longer if he wanted to. He was just ready to go home. I said goodbye to him several times. I want to talk about this Andre 3000. I want to tell you something. I want to tell you the truth. This looks like me when I did my sabbatical on the streets of downtown Washington, D.C. and Maryland, Virginia as a busker. And believe me, the streets was not friendly. People were not friendly with people. If you look at him walking down the street with that flute, I looked the same way, but I had several flutes on my back. I had them wrapped up, and I tied them together, and I put them so I could reach and pull one out. Has several different types of flutes. I even think I had a walking stick flute too. But I used to play in Subway and, do I still have a flute? I don't even have any. I lost them all in the fire. I used to keep a piccolo, little plastic piccolo. But when I look at that Andre 3000, I see myself. I see myself 40 years ago. And my buddy's making a comment on him. It's a friend of mine here. I like him. He makes beats. He's a percussionist. I try to catch him every time he goes live.
I don't know, but I just felt like he opened up something. There's a new lane right here. He opened up for people to just let go.
Yeah, I've been all natural. My brother told me to stay true to myself years ago. I guess that's why I haven't been making no music lately. I do have a new instrument here. It just came out. And my neighbor gave me this foam rubber here. I'm going to cut it and make some pillows and use this for my I'm going to cut it right down the line here and use all this extra for memory cushion pillows. But let me show you. There's a guy named Freddie Green, Street Genie. Look him up. Me and him used to look just like we had dreadlocks years ago. And 40 years ago, if you had dreadlocks, the only other people that had dreadlocks were Rastafarians and I hate to say it, other people who didn't take care of themselves. They didn't get haircuts and they had natural dreadlocks, but a lot of them were living on the streets. But I played the flute. 60 Minutes. 60 Minutes got me. They did a story on me. Washington Post, several newspapers back then. After that 60 Minutes got me, everybody jumped on the bandwagon. I think the Washington Post was first. But this is going to be, I'm back. I'm not moving forward, I'm moving back in time. So this will be soprano saxophone. I can play all kinds of instruments on this. I'm going to be playing some flute. I actually did write a song. I wrote a song, Native American song I called my grandmother. Let me see if I can find it. Songs. Here it is. I can't play it. Authorized. I think I have to locate. I don't know how that works. No, that's not it. I can't play these. Even though it's my own song, I can't play them. But you're going to hear it. You're going to be hearing from it. After, it knocked me for a loop seeing that Andre 3000, because when I looked at the guy, he was walking down the street with his flute, and it looked like me. Only thing, he didn't have no dreadlocks. But I gotta say that this is you heard of the Mandela effect? Or this is the Little Richard syndrome. Little Richard spent his whole life saying he did that first. When they took rock and roll, it was race records. I'm gonna be honest, the first they used to call it jungle music. And they called it nigger music. And they wouldn't play it. And all of the white groups were covering the black songs. And then when they finally covered the black songs, they had to find a name for it. They couldn't call it jungle music or nigger music. They called them race records, because it was from the problem was the race that was playing it. And to clean it up, another famous DJ who broke all the rules and kept playing these race records, he coined the phrase rhythm and blues, because it was blues at first. And with the not playing it wasn't blues, it had a different rhythm to it. So it was rhythm and blues. Back when Muddy Waters and all of them, you got to check out that movie, Race Records. But the syndrome is I did that first. And I used to go catch the subway and the bus out to Old Town. There was a store called the House of Musical Tradition. I should have my camera all the way up on my face like the other guy, so you won't be subtracted. You don't be sidetracked by the background. What's my camera not showing up here? Here we go. House of Musical Tradition. What's the name of it? And I used to go there and buy flutes. I even bought recorders. Recorders got a different fingering than the flute. And I had an open hole. I used to love open hole. And with the open hole, you had to do a half a hole for a sharp and a flat. And I used to get it. So I used to know for the half a step, you just slide your finger halfway, so the half a hole, and that's a sharp and a flat. But I did some Irish jigs. Native American sounding stuff, you know. The only thing was missing was the eagle flying, the hawk, making that noise. But only thing I didn't have a pair of moccasin boots, but I wore feathers, and I also wore war paint when I had to go work in Georgetown. I remember one guy, I slept in a shelter, and when I did leave the shelter, and the guy, man, said, man, you look like you're going out to war. And I used to, before I would go out, I would take some makeup, put 2 fingers in it, and I would go like this on my face. Like this camera froze up on me. Camera keeps freezing up on me. This camera keeps freezing up. But I say that to say, I do have some songs. I have one song called My Grandmother. It's indigenous music. But I'm going to ride in. I can't say I'm going to ride in on a guy's coattail because he's actually doing something that I did 40 years ago. But I'm going to relate it to I'm going to relate my songs to his name, Andre 3000. I'm going to, some kind of way I got to figure out a knockoff so people would know that I'm relating what I'm doing with his music. I hate to do that, but you know, I'm a nobody. He's way up there, so I'm just want people to hear what I've done is what he's doing. I've done what he's doing. I walk, you know, he walks around with a flute, wooden flute, downtown. But if he really wants to walk around and be natural, he's gonna have to wear a disguise so he can walk. But if he wears a disguise, if people don't know who he is and he walking around with that flute and he goes in stores and stuff like that, he's gonna get harassed. I guarantee it. If he hides his face, where people don't know where he is and he goes about his business, he's going to get harassed. My sister said times have changed, but if he looks all natural, he's going to have trouble. Like he did in that video when he's walking around looking all natural with that backpack and a flute, they're going to assume, if they hadn't been to college, they shouldn't assume, but they're going to look at him and think that he's a homeless person. Because I think he's been buying his clothes from the thrift store ever since he started. And people are starting to do that now. I used to shop at the thrift store. I used to go to the free clothes store. But I say this to say that Andre 3000 is me 40 years ago. And I wonder if my nephew has the largest music network. And I wonder if he's going to do a reaction. Yeah, I told him if he does a reaction, he's going to have to mention me. Because I remember he was telling his friends that... It's froze again. He was telling his friends that when the soloist came out, Jamie Foxx, he was telling everybody, he said, "Hey, that's my uncle. My uncle. I did that Jamie Foxx soloist thing, but I didn't have the proper medication or help. You know, I didn't know what bipolar was years ago. When it shifts, you get really depressed or really up. But
I just want to reach those people who vibe with me. You know what I mean? There's a lot of people out here that I know that would appreciate the sound that comes from this channel, that comes from me as an artist, and I want to reach those people. So with that being said, I'm gonna have to go through some people who's gonna hear it and it's gonna be like, what is this? This is garbage. This is trash.
yeah.
I should use for something forever. But
You
for
know
some,
what? Actually, I have not even been making no videos. I've just been sitting here talking and trying to get an upgrade, learning how to work my new equipment. I've been trying to learn how to work this. I upgraded my studio, so I got a bunch of stuff here. This is this is old. He doesn't do this type of music anymore, but he did have his album. I wonder if he got a. I gotta ask my friend to see if he can find some of my pictures he drew of me years ago when I did this. I used to wear a straw hat. People used to think it was a Chinese hat. It was an African hat. It started in Africa. I heard the Chinese got the dragon from Africa. But everybody's trying to figure out what this guy's gonna be doing.
Bruh.
Is that
do I really want to do this to myself?
Is this that guy? Sure is.
Do I really want to frustrate myself like this?
Is this
like I'm trying to not be biased, but that.
No, this somebody else.
I understand why he did the fluke shit, but
see, I don't want to hear that kind of language on my station. I don't need he don't need your approval.
Yoga music and shit, bro.
This guy,
I'm sitting here.
Why do people talk like that? They should have a warning. Beware of obscene language. I don't even want to listen to this guy. I don't even want to hear anything he's got to say because he has a dirty, potty mouth.
Now, so a lot of people, they see me like, you look like him, but nah, that ain't 3,000. So it's like.
It's funny because it's like when you're 19, you're probably working towards like anything but normal. You know, you're working towards like,
funny.
Let's be successful. Let's see where this can go.
Because people will
follow you.
Was
your life
you.
ever like that?
At certain times, I think maybe at the height of Outkast, over years of like letting it simmer a little bit, and I'm older now, so a lot of people, they see me like, you look like him, but nah, that ain't 3,000. So it's like.
It's funny because it's like when you're 19.
Now the planet is here, you know, like all the kids are turned up, you know what I mean? Like
the experience that you've had and know, very few people know. You're like an astronaut in that sense, you know?
I'm coming to grips with it, I think, because I'm older now. Like, I really see it as I'm just being used for something. You know what I mean? And I'm happy that I'm being used in a greater scheme. Like, I kind of have looked at my whole career going. And it's gratifying to know that your life has had meaning for someone or a group of people.
And for such a long time. I mean,
McCartney, walk. You go to the left.
You know what? I don't even know. I only know one of his songs, Miss Jackson. I might know some other ones, but I probably don't know he wrote it. But I gotta find some old pictures of mine. I got a picture of me. Look just like this guy. Only thing, I had little short dreadlocks, but I always had a good little goatee. I gotta find some of my pictures.
Enjoy my life. I like.
Yeah. Like I said, I'm going to do the coattail thing, but it's not really a coattail. We're walking on each other's coattail. He's pulling me and I'm pulling him. But I'm definitely going to do the, everybody going to say, I'm going to have to jump on the bandwagon here because this is good for me. It's the truth. I'm going to tell the truth. I'm going to tell the truth. I've done that. I've been there, done
like
that.
Big.
And I felt myself to do this a long time ago, but the software, the technology, the software driving me nuts. It's been hindering me, you know. This software they got don't want to work right. So it's like, and look, my camera froze up again. Yeah. But
being able to
yeah, I've been there, I've done that. I'm going to put Andre 3000, been there, done that. 40 years ago. Andre 3000, 3000 and been that and done that and redone redone and remixed and redone 3,040 years ago. Something. I'm gonna do a play on words. I have a friend, anonymous. He can. We do. We make up our own dialect. We have we have our own language. We make up our own words. And I'm gonna have him help me out with this Andre 3000 to do the knockoff. I've done this, been there, done that. I've been there where I was there. Actually, I must have, when I was doing that all natural flute stuff, I had came a long journey to get to where I was. This was 40 years ago, downtown streets of Washington, D.C. I wish I could have found that 60 Minutes did a story on me. And I was roller skating playing the flute. Had several flutes. I called 60 Minutes. The guy said he remembered me, but he couldn't find the footage because they put me in with a bunch of homeless people. And so they didn't have to ask me for permission to sign a release. I did have people ask me to sign a release. I signed several releases back then too, because I think one was for a mural in Baltimore. The bus driver said he saw it. It's a mural of me in Baltimore. I need to go there, try to find it, if it's still up. But so Andre 3000 is me 40 years ago. So I just thought I would tell everybody from Outkast. And believe me, that was an outcast back then. Biden almost fall down again. They should have somebody walking with that guy. That's not funny neither. Why do we make fun of people falling down? I'm off the subject right now. Everybody gonna be on the bandwagon with this guy.
Your music, the music that you're playing, it reminds me of my old country. We sparked up like a real cool friendship, and she, like after I finished Hey Ya and I played it for him, he said, "Man, if you put that out, man, your career is over." Yeah. That's like one of the coolest things about the recording. Like I'm actually listening to myself be a baby at something, you know, be a baby at this new machine that I've never touched.
Yeah. You know, and it's so funny, back then I was approached by the Jamaican queen, Black Aurora, and she offered me to come and join her group in New York. And I was scaling. I was doing a John Coltrane, Sonny Rollins thing. I was practicing down at the Federal Triangle, up under the underpass. Right now they call it Trump Towers. The back of Trump Towers. I have the picture where they took it, Washington Post. And I was practicing right there. Let me see if I can find a picture. Hold on. You can look it up, Washington Post. Bittersweet notes from the street. Can't put my finger on it right now, but I have the pictures. Washington Post and 60 Minutes covered it also. Oh, here it is. Right here. I gotta scan it so y'all can see it. But that's right behind Donald Trump Towers. And you see I am playing a flute. I had several. And matter of fact, there's some flutes at my feet. See that little bag down the bottom? There are flutes at my feet. The kind that 3000 is playing. And I had a little military ammo bag. And I had a little cup. People could put money in. But that was my outfit that won third place White House competitions. I think it was 85. I came in third place. I got a canteen. I got a pair of roller skates. And I'm practically surviving, trying to live off the grid. Yes, let's see, this make it a little clearer. Turn sideways to feel up. But there's a flute down there at my feet, a little bamboo made of wood, heavy bamboo wood. Yeah, but I done that. Now I just got my roller skates back. And I kept American flag around my neck, and I had a Confederate cap. I got ninja shoes on, because I used to crawl up the side of a building to go to sleep, to get in the building. It's an abandoned building. Put this back. Always try to replace this cap. The Confederate cap I have on in the picture is 40 years old. This one's not. This is a new one. I think I maybe had 3 of these hats in the past 40 years. Somebody took my outfit one time. I rolled it up and put it up under the guy's head. And somebody took it and threw it away. They knew what it was. They recognized it. They hated me back then. I had enemies. But I always wore feathers back then. I wouldn't go out of the shelter or go down Georgetown without a feather or my war paint. Oh man, I gotta turn the heat up a little bit more up in here. The temperature must be dropping. I'm trying to heat up one more. But like I said, I need to get a couple of catchphrases. 3000, Andrew 3000, been there, done that, something like that. I was just going to make me some, I was going to make some French toast. But, yeah. Andre 3000, been there, done that. Been there, done that.
This feels like 80s doctor's office.
I think it's cozier than that.
Psychiatrist's office.
Psychiatrist's office. There we go.
Yeah,
That's amazing, man.
Oh,
he's
thank
got
you,
a
man.
mouthpiece on his.
What's up, man?
What's up?
Bring it in, bring it in. I like the shirt.
Oh, thank you. Thank you very much.
Cool.
Yeah, you know, stripes.
Yeah.
Just trying to be like you.
It's stripe
Just trying to
time.
be like you.
Get your stripes. Yeah.
We should make it clear that you actually use this laundromat.
Yeah. This is a laundromat not too far from my house.
How'd you end up out here?
I was making a move from New York, and it was really supposed to be like
I
a.
never did make it to New York. I did buy a bus ticket. Back then. They actually turned gray and expired. I think I bought 2 bus tickets and I never used them. I did go to Florida though. I went all the way down there. I think I had $700 in my pocket. And when I got down there, I went too far. I went all the way down to the wrong place where it wasn't any tourists. It was like downtown. And I saw this homeless guy standing on the corner with no people around with his hand out. but the pawn shops are real cheap down there. And I said, man, I know I can't make no money here. I got off at the wrong stop. You know how Space Pictures, Planet of the Apes. I said, man, we got off at the wrong stop. I got off at the wrong stop. I had to come all the way back home, and I was mad at myself. I said, man, I could have bought a leather jacket. I remember saying that because I was sleeping in the shelter, the mobile campers. And it was a guy in there, I think he had $200, and he kept saying, I got more money than anybody. I'd put $1 down, I put $1 down. I started to match his money and then take all his money, bet him that I had more than him, and then I would have to leave the shelter. But then again, I would have been mocked as somebody walking around with money, a homeless person with money. And I think I had a lot of money in my pocket I didn't want anybody to know. All from playing the flute. I had saved it up. Should have went to New York, but it was no cheap hotels in New York. And my flute was broken, actually. I couldn't get it to work when I got down there. I did see a lot of good flutes in the store. I should have bought one, but I had to buy a ticket to get back. Wasted trip. I don't say it was a wasted trip because I'm talking about it now. But
I would say it's probably this felt more real and authentic to me. Like, cause I don't stop trying things. Like I always try, recordings, and I try vocal things. I even try to jot down ideas and lyrics here and there, but none of that excited me. It kind of felt like.
Yeah, I didn't feel like recording anything myself for a minute. Plus, with the technology acting all messed up too, stuff don't want to work right. Waiting for third party. But I just want to say, Andre 3000, been there, done that. I might go back and do it again. I can't say I'm copying off a guy because he's doing exactly what I was doing. I didn't have a studio back then. When I did get a studio, I did write that grandmother song. I can play that for y'all. I can have proof. I have proof. My grandmother's song is proof that I've been there and done that. It's called My Grandmother. It's indigenous. I actually played it down at the Smithsonian when they first opened up the Indian Museum. This big Aborigine Indian walked up to me while I was playing. Oh, this song was bumping too. I had the drum machine going. I had the drum machine. Boom, 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 boom. That was the beat. Boom, 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 boom. And I was playing. It was a. Let's see. That's not it. I got it. It was a blues. Played the flute on synthesizer, but that was because I remember I played the flute on the street, so that was emulating my acoustic instrument. But been there, done that, man. People say I am Malcolm X, I am Martin Luther King, I am Gandhi. Been there. 3000 was I am 3000. I am 3,000. I will I am. Knock off Will I am. Carlton, I'm not gonna use a piano. Mr. Piano, I am 3,000. I gotta figure out a knockoff. I gotta call my buddy. I gotta call Anonymous and we gotta talk about that. And plus, he's got pictures of me walking around with that flute. I had different characters. He's got several pictures of me in that mode. But peace and love, peace and hair grease, peace and roast beef, peace and roast grief, live long and prosper. I am 3,000. I am 3,000.